Welcome back. This week we've got the results from last Saturday's Skills USA District Automotive Competition. We'll let you know how the students did there. We had a great job come in that the students made short work of. And as you can see, we've got a considerable amount of work done on the engine for our 48 Chevy. Thanks for tuning in. The Skills District's 11 competitions were held this past Saturday, and Hilton did pretty well. Junior J.C. Rodriguez finished second place in the MLR, or Maintenance and Light Repair competition. While our two seniors, Blake Butler, finished third in the Automotive Service Technology portion, and Noemi Lira finished first place in the Automotive Service Technology competition, and she will be going to states in Virginia Beach in April, and we'll have some information to share with you about that in a coming episode. We had to remove the wheels from one of our training vehicles, and since we didn't care about the wheels, the students used an air chisel to walk this lock around that we didn't have a key for.
It's loose.
Here Eric's blowing the master cylinder apart like he did for the caliper so we can rebuild it. Looks pretty good inside. As soon as the new kit gets here, we can put it back together. Now Eric's taking the rest of the master cylinder apart so we can clean it thoroughly. With the wheels out of the way, the calipers and caliper brackets are removed. The students use an impact driver to remove the screws holding the rotor to the flange. The new rotors are coated with Cosmoline. That keeps them from rusting while they're sitting on the shelf. It all must be cleaned off before they can be installed onto the car. With the new rotors in place, the caliper brackets are reinstalled. Here the caliper pistons are being pushed back into the caliper. Lubricant is added to the new pads so that they slide freely in the brackets.
Okay.
Now the new pads are installed before the calipers are replaced. With wheels in place, they're torqued down, this vehicle is ready for the road. The team decided to paint the head black, so we're getting it cleaned up so the paint will adhere. Here we're cleaning up the head bolts with a wire wheel. With the head bolts cleaned up, we're chasing the threads in the black for a more accurate torque.
We're lubricating the lifters before installing them.
This is assembly lube with a little bit of engine oil mixed into it. I like the consistency much better. These are solid lifters, so we will be adjusting these valves. The students are about to put the cylinder head back onto the 48, and normally there would be alignment dowels on the block to align the head, but there are none. Now the book talks about screwing in alignment dowels into two of the holes that are in the block, but they are not there. That book has been less than helpful on the build to this car. But what we've done is we've taken some all thread, 1/2 inch 13, and I've cut sections of it that are about the same length as the bolt would be. That's going to help us align the gasket and align the head. Then once we get some of the bolts in place to secure the gasket, then we'll unscrew these and put bolts in their place.
Ready?
put a screw slot in the top of the stud so we can get them out.
With the head bolts seated, we are torquing them in 3 steps. We have done 25 pound-feet and now we are doing 55. The last step is to torque it to 80 pound-feet. Next step is to install the push rods.
We're putting the same lubrication that we used for the lifters at the top of the lifter before the push rod goes in. Before installing the rocker arm, perch, and rocker arms, we're adding a little bit of lubrication to the top of the push rods, and we're also going to put some on top of the valve stems.
Now we are installing the rocker arms.
With rocker arm shafts in place, the students are adjusting the valves.
A little bit there. Good.
After each set is adjusted, the students rotate the engine 120 degrees and do the next one in the firing order. With most of the mechanics done on the engine, the next thing is going to be to start dressing it up with some of the tin, but also adding a lot of new components. Next time on Bulldog Builds, we'll have the rear master cylinder for our Z1R back together. We'll have more of the components bolted onto our 48 Chevy block, and hopefully have a little work done on the Fox body. See you next week.